Hey, we're here today with another player spotlight, and today I have with me Josh Newell from St. Charles West High School. Josh, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We always enjoy talking to players around our area and whatnot because you know what, you're part of the community, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Got to get to know, and you got a lot of people. I was out at the your district final.
Mm-hmm.
Last year you guys played. You had a big crowd, man.
Yeah, it was like that for our sectional game was at home too, and that was probably like the biggest crowd I've ever seen at a baseball game. So it's always good because football games and basketball games are the big hitters, but baseball was big that day.
Yeah, that's good. I thought it was great. The crowd, everybody was really behind you guys. It was a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So we're going to start by talking about growing up playing baseball in the Lou. When did you start playing ball?
So my mom kind of set me up with St. Elizabeth Church. I kind of did a whole bunch of sports there. I played soccer, basketball, and baseball, or t-ball at that time. But they had like the underhand coach pitch, and that was probably real fun for me. And like one of like the funny stories, I remember my coach threw it to me, and I like hit him right back in the nose.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that was probably the highlight of that season. But yeah,
you got a little chuckle, right? Coach wasn't happy, but
yeah, he just threw the ball. But yeah, that's probably one of my good memories there. So yeah, I played a few sports there, and then joined the spa league at Woodlands and the Strel Fields, and did that for a couple years. And then I joined my first like select travel team with Coach Sereno. He works for the Bandits now with Coach Shadow and all that. But did that for a couple years, and then we finally merged to the Bandits and got to play with Coach Shadow over the summer. So he's very knowledgeable on baseball, and got to learn a whole bunch of new things. And yeah, it's a good experience.
Very good. Yeah, I we work a lot with Matt, and I know Justin was down. You guys were, I believe at Lake Point.
Yeah, we were all over the place.
You threw a shutout.
Yeah,
complete game shutout.
That was real fun, especially in like an environment like that at Lake Point. You got, you can see coaches all around the place. It's just good to show out.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
That's outstanding, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You enjoyed that one, didn't you? So multi-sports, you grew up playing all different sports, and as you know, we can see here, we were talking. You're playing basketball. Mm-hmm. Are those? Is that pretty much what you're staying with at this point? Basketball and baseball.
Yeah, I mean, my dad was a big football guy, so I tried that for a couple years, but it really wasn't my thing, So I kind of stuck with basketball and baseball my whole life, and it's just like the things I love.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So how do you think those intertwine? Do they help you as far as your athletic ability and from baseball to basketball and basketball to baseball?
I think definitely basketball is like, it gets you kind of like in that big competitive mindset. It keeps you like agile, moving fast, being explosive, and I think it helps with baseball. Especially on the mound. Having to push off and making plays at short, got to be fast laterally and stuff like that. So I think they both intertwine pretty well together.
A lot of core,
yes,
right? A lot of core strength.
Yeah, Coach Allen's pretty good with core stuff. He has us running and then core exercise, run again, core. He's big on like abs and stuff like that.
So let's go back to this. So you're playing ball. You're in. I remember the SPA. I umpired in the SPA and stuff, and always been around that. What's the difference now that you see in baseball compared to? I mean, you're not that old, but right. you were in the leagues and stuff. What's the difference now that you see?
I think, like, just energy-wise, like, you had kids that were kind of there just because their parents kind of wanted them to play. Mm-hmm. But then as you get older, you have the kids who really want to be there, and I think that's what pushes everyone around you, just because they want to be there, you want to be there, and you guys both want to win. So
yeah. Did you, you were with the Bandits organization,
right?
Tell us a little bit about, did you guys travel a lot when you were younger, or did you just stay around around town most of the time? What tournaments did you play in?
So with Coach Sereno, before I joined Coach Shadow, we kind of did like half and half type thing. So I think we did like 8 to 12 tournaments in the summer and stayed locally for some, and then we would travel down to Memphis or go up to Lynn's Field or stuff like that. So you got to have like a taste of these like bigger teams or bigger guys from down south, or same thing up north too. So it's just a cool experience.
Why are they bigger in the South?
I don't know. It seems like they're bigger in everything. You know, you got these Texas guys, freshmen 6'5", 250 or something. It's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Maybe it's the sun. I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, who knows?
What'd you learn from those experiences going down and playing in, I mean, yeah, when you travel south, you usually see a little better competition, right?
Right, yeah.
What did you learn from that? What those experiences gain you?
I think the biggest thing was just kind of seeing where I was individually and seeing like, oh, this guy is bigger than me and I'm doing just as much as he is. So so I think it's a good comparison just to see like where you are competitively. Yeah.
Right. So when you're coming up out of youth baseball, you get into high school, you're still playing summer ball, right? In that respect, what are the differences? What are the differences between the summer ball club and high school baseball? What is there much difference? Is there differences in those two things?
I think one of the bigger differences is just the environment. You have school baseball where you get to have like a whole student section come out to your games, and it kind of fires you up a little bit. But then on the other hand, you have summer ball. You get to travel the country and play some of the best guys that are doing their thing. So I think that's big comparing yourself wise, travel ball wise, and then school ball, especially like with my senior year, like having fun, enjoying the environment, and just like performing.
Yeah. Right,
yeah.
And you're seeing, St. Charles West, I believe, was Class 4 last year. You'll probably be Class 4 again this year, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would say that.
You never know. Mm-hmm. They change stuff here and there, but I don't see it changing much.
Right.
And you saw some pretty good athletes.
Yeah.
You saw some good baseball teams, didn't you? Especially getting into districts, getting into the sectionals.
Yeah.
I think you lost to Blair Oaks, right,
Yeah,
in the sectional final, or in that sectional game, right?
Yeah, that was kind of, it was like a real cold day, and it was like May, and it was like 40 degrees, and it was a weird environment, but those guys were real good at Blair Oaks, and they kind of handed it to us a little bit. But yeah, it was just good to make it that far. It was a great experience all around, and then hopefully we can build off of that this year.
Absolutely, right. And that's the thing. You got your senior season. You're 2022, your senior. Last year, you're coming off second team All-State as a pitcher.
Right.
And you had a really good season. I saw you pitch against St. Charles over at Blanchette Park, and you threw a really good game. And you were up against what was that? Sam
Myers, yeah.
Sam Myers, and he was throwing. I mean, that was a fun game to watch because both you guys were throwing very well. I think the velocity was good on both sides. What do you get out of that competition right there?
I think it's good, especially because Sam, he's doing big things at Parkland right now. He's like gaining velocity and stuff like that. So another comparison thing, kind of seeing where you stand against another college player. And I think it was just good, especially against your rival, to perform the way we did. But yeah.
Yeah, because St. Charles was having they were having a good season. I think they're Class 5.
Yeah,
I think they are.
Yeah.
They were up Class 5. So, I mean, you guys competed very well against, that school. And, I mean, again, rivalries, right?
Yeah.
It's as you said, and there was a good crowd there.
Yeah, especially because that was like a big conference thing for us. So I think the first time we played them, we knew if we won that one, we could at least tie for conference. And then we ended up winning the second time, so then we won it outright, which was pretty nice.
And you also play shortstop, correct?
Yeah.
So do you play now? Which one do you like better?
I've always kind of leaned towards pitching. You get to control the tone of the game, get to calm things down, pick things up, and I kind of just like throwing at batters, making them look silly,
I love that. That's great stuff. But you know what? You kind of have to have a little bit of that attitude as a pitcher, don't you?
Yeah, you have to have like a certain like tenacity, because you can't just like, if you let up a couple hits, get over it, it's already done type of thing. Like you just can't let them kind of walk all over you. You gotta, like I said, like keep the tone of the game, keep it controlled and all that.
Very good. Love that stuff, man, because it is competing. Because, I mean, you've got, coming back this year, all the first-team pitchers were seniors except for Will Libbert from Blair Oaks.
Yeah.
He's good. And that's a guy you want to compare yourself against too, right?
Yeah, because he's pretty tall. I think he's probably,
I think he's like 6'5" or something like that.
Yeah.
I think he's a big kid.
Yeah, and I saw some things like from PBR about him, and that kind of like turned my head a little bit. And I think it would be good for the future comparing ourselves and how we go.
And, coming up this season, you got a shot maybe first team as a pitcher, right?
Yeah, that's
that
always
a
the
goal?
goal. That's always the goal, especially because you set that bar, especially because I didn't get to play at my sophomore year because of the whole COVID thing, but just to kind of build off of last year and just kind of raise the bar a little bit more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you've got all this coming up. What are your expectations for the 2022 season? You lost your senior catcher,
right?
Cole Gramley. Good ball player, solid guy behind the plate. Who do you see coming up being those guys that are going to help you make a run at the districts again?
Well, we got Dylan Patterson still. He's been a buddy of mine since we were probably in kindergarten, and we've always just had a thing for baseball with each other. So he plays third, I play short, and we've always had fun with each other. And then we have a new freshman coming in who's actually pretty good, but I haven't seen him play, but I've heard some really good things about him. So hopefully we have a nice little 1-2 punch just to compete.
Very good, very good. How's your depth at pitching this year?
It's kind of hard to tell just because we were kind of senior dominant a little bit from the mound. So I'll be pretty excited to see who kind of shows up and performs.
Right. Got to have those underclassmen come up and do their thing, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely. Coming through this, you committed to Lindenwood University.
That's right. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And Lindenwood's. That's a very good Division II program. Very
Right.
good, great staff there. A lot of good folks.
That's right.
Take us a little bit through the recruiting process. We work with PBR with Kevin Mulder from
Right.
PBR, and so we follow a lot of that stuff. I'm watching. You're ranked 37th in the state right now as just overall. You're 9th in your position at shortstop, and I didn't see much on the pitching side there, though. So I don't know, where that comes into play.
Right.
But tell me a little bit about, that process. When did you start really pushing into the recruiting process?
I think I kind of bought into just baseball in general, kind of around like at the end of freshman year and beginning of sophomore year, just because I knew like I was pretty consistent at baseball, and it was something that I had like a lot of fun doing. So I think it was around that time where I just started really taking it seriously, and then just like traveling and getting in front of coaches just to get your name out there, it's like a big part of it. So it was just a fun experience overall.
Very good. Now, I'm sure you had people helping you and whatnot. Who was that, and what was the help? What was that experience like, and how did those folks? How did your parents? Coaches, I'm sure, with the Bandits, I'm sure you had some work there. How'd that work?
Yeah, so with the Bandits, we kind of had like our own little like software where we got to personally like send emails out, which was just fun just because you get to kind of make your own email and talk to coaches directly, which I think was a big thing. And then obviously you have like your coaches that you play with who have connections here and there. So I think it was pretty good overall, yeah.
Very good. Now your parents, did they help you make that decision, or was that all you?
I think it's kind of hard to say, just because I like kind of look at my mom and she kind of like I know what she's probably thinking of some things, but overall I think it was my decision. But at the same time, I kind of shaped it around her because I want her to be as comfortable as possible, and that's why like Lindenwood was just such a good fit, just because it's a good school and close to home, and she's gonna have a good time just because she doesn't have to travel a whole bunch.
That is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's important. I really do, and I think when we're looking at a lot of these, a lot of the players around the state and whatnot, I think it's nice for your family to be able to watch you play at the college level too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it may be nice to be, in Tampa, I guess, that
Right. Always,
playing ball.
Yeah, gotta love the beach life,
Right.
Yeah.
But, this is where you've always played baseball. Mm-hmm. It's got to feel somewhat comfortable, yeah?
Yeah, especially because it's, in St. Charles too, the campuses, so I kind of know all the roads, and my high school's right down the street, and so it'll just be kind of fun staying in that same environment and just having my mom come out and watch would be really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, we're looking at this, and like I said, we've been talking about, your comparison to players, and at your, and this is just in the shortstop position. Now, we've looked at this. We talked with Jake. He's going to Missouri State, Jake McCutcheon. Mm-hmm. A lot of kids from around here, Marquette, kid going to Bradley, Mason Breidenbach. One of your, Jackson Chu,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
plays over at St. Charles. He's going to John Wood Community College up there. You've got Joe Siervo over at Parkway Central. He's going to Jeffco. Mm-hmm. I mean, you look at the list of names, Coastal Carolina, Grant Richards over at St. Dominic. There's a lot of good baseball players in this area. Do you think that helps you as a player when you're competing at that high level?
I think it has to be, just especially because with some of those guys, I'm close with them personally. So mm-hmm. I think it's a motivation thing for sure, just because you can kind of like friendly competition. So, just kind of comparing ourselves, one-upping each other, that's always fun.
Do you like that? Have you and when you were traveling in the summer, with summer baseball and stuff, were you able to make connections with guys that you're still talking to and having those relationships with?
Yeah, especially with the Midland team I was with this summer. I think I got to meet a whole bunch of guys from like Minnesota or Florida, and I'm still talking to them here and every now and then. So I think it's just good just because you get to meet new guys,
Sure.
Especially in like traveling the country, playing the best competition. There's nothing better.
Absolutely, man. So we're going to get you out of here. Summer baseball coming up this year. What's your expectations there? School, we got that. I know where you're wanting to go. State title's always there, right?
It's always there. It's always the top dog that you're trying to reach.
So you're committed there at Lindenwood. When the summer comes, what are you trying to get out of that at this point?
Just build off, like I said before, just kind of build off of what like I've already accomplished, and just kind of like set the standards a little bit higher. But then also just kind of, compete to the highest level, because college baseball is going to be a whole different environment than high school and stuff like that. And there's probably going to be guys that come in and they're probably maybe a little bit better, but it's going to be also a motivation thing as well to push myself. And I think that's what I'm most excited for, fighting for a spot, because not everyone's guaranteed anything in college, so you got to fight for it. So that'll be pretty fun.
Got to go to work, right?
That's right.
School-wise, though, we always have to do this. I'm big on this because as a student athlete, what are you looking? What are you studying over there at Lindenwood? What was that side of it for you?
I've always kind of just been interested in sports in general, so I wanted to do sports management. So I think it would be good on the business side of things, and then, mixing it with sports, I think it would be a great combo.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. Because hey, you know what? If once your career, they got to kick you out, right?
That's right. Eventually.
Not too soon, right?
That's
if you
right.
can't get to the bit, maybe you get something there as sports manager. That's cool. That's great.
Because my mom always said, if you have one plan, make sure you have a backup, because you never know what's going to happen.
The big plan is Major League Baseball always, right?
Yeah, it's got to be a dream.
Yeah. What would you? I want to add. What is it? What is a dream scenario there?
I think I don't know. I think getting to pro baseball is always a goal, especially because you see guys getting drafted out of high school, and that's a big motivation thing to just kind of push yourself. And then if I could get drafted out of college, that'd be insane, because it's already a dream come true playing college baseball.
Right.
Because that's something I've dreamt for a very long time. So that would just be a cherry on top.
Josh.
Thank you.
Pleasure, man. It was really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. We'll be watching. Lots of success to you, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Everybody, Josh Newell, St. Charles West High School. Hey, if you like what we're doing, please hit that subscribe button. It's right there. Click it. Hit that dinger right next to it because that gets all your notifications. And hey, you know what? Who doesn't like dingers?
That's right.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, everybody have a great day in the Lord. All you pitchers, keep throwing strikes.
Got to.
You hitters, hit them where they ain't. We'll see you next time.